kwasi benyame odi nsempa bi brew ti yaso netie ne beboa wo yetie no no de nsempa nenam asmafo kwasi benyame mama yetie no mi se yetie no no de nsempa nenam yetie no ne semye preba mama yetie no no de no kre na bai asmafo kwasi benyame mama yetie no mi se yetie no no de nsempa nenam yetie no ne semye preba Ofrinyamenti e freno benyame yasumanu onti e freno sumafo ofrinyamenti e freno benyabio yasumanu onti e freno sumafo nana benyame osumafo benyame osigana mayirenti obecheni e kwanuda yaira kwanti yakwa yemuda yaira kwanti yasuya yemuda nakagana maimu edia krani oya bibia bia okedia poa mai ye wasasi papa bia gold papa wo diamond papa wo timba papa wo outside papa wo coco papa wo oil papa wo emuni papa baby ansuda bia gana mai kwa mesiabo nukra ya fi unto yantu mai empamuda nana benyame se obetre ne kwanoda titi ati ponwa ya nana numfa so sanko faye chiti muma yenko yenchia nana kwasi benyame na ya mutie no mesi etie no no din sempane namo etie no ni semye prepare muma yetie no no de no kre na bai aswafu kwasi benyame muma yetie no mesi etie no no din sempane namo etie no ni semye prepare Benyamenti e freno benyame yasumanu onti e freno sumafo Benyamenti e freno benyamio yasumanu onti lidini osumafo nana benyame osumafo benyame osigana mayirati obetreni kwanuda yeni untino ye treni yeni ti yesuani yeni ye kani yeni ye tieni yeni ye sumni yeni yakutuni ayenim ya sorry ni ayenim ti osmafo abase obetre ni kwanuda titi ati ponu ayena nanum fa so onwa odinya misro emrani ni kredie atu hu ache ejo maisi hono ti yetie no no de no kre na ba osmafo kwasi benyame mama yetie no misi yetie no no de separe na mo yetie no ni semye prepare no de no kre na ba oswafu kwasi benyame mama yetie no mesi yetie no no de sepane na mo yetie no ne semye prepare sanko fa yenchi ye sankwa yenchi o nana kwasi benyame mama yetie no mesi yetie no no de sepane na mo yetie no ne semye prepare si sanko fa yenchi yenko yenchi a sanko fa yenchi mama yenka yenchi o yetie no no de sepane na mo yetie no ne semye prepare yetie no nana kwasi benyame.
My greetings to all of you. Today is the first day of December. We are now heading towards the so-called Christmas festivities, and I wish all of you well. May the gods protect each and every one. Those of you who may travel, may the laws and the gods protect you and get you to your destination safely. There has been so many misunderstanding in the world of research, and that is why today I have decided to bring out some facts about names that has been corrupted, because the reason why I'm doing this video is that there is a white man who tries to teach people concerning the Bible and how the story in it was fabricated stories, and that Moses and others never existed. You see, I saw it and I know many people are listening to such programs. So it's about time we let people know whether they really existed or they were just fabricated stories. So I took it upon myself to reveal many names that has been corrupted, right from the biblical concept of names and then the historical concept of names that we know. You see, I saw the man talking about Moses, that he never existed. The problem is, when somebody does not know the origin of the people and has no idea where he can trace the person, he only talks about, no, it never existed. But my worry is that if you do not know, don't you know that there might be somebody who know? And therefore, the fact that you don't know doesn't make it wrong or doesn't make it a false statement. You see, I want this very video, I wish it will reach that man to know that all the names, the historical names that has been corrupted, I can show them where they can find those names. And I can make sure those names, the proper names, are being coming out, so that they will also learn and know that the fact that they don't know does not mean that somebody does not know. You see, for instance, there was a lady who was very powerful, and the white man has blackmailed that lady as a demon. I'm giving an analogy of which many of us know. There was a president in Uganda who never succumbed to the orders of Britain. And the British started painting this man very black and giving him horrible names, that he even eats human flesh, kept human head in his freezer, and so many disgusting adjectives they want to use to qualify that man. You see, that is how the white man does. If they don't understand you and you don't go according to their will, they begin to blackmail you. They begin to destroy your image. There is, once upon a time, this lady who they have named as Medusa. I know many of you know this story. They have made it even a film. And they say the head of Medusa. The woman's hairs are snakes. You see, there could be anything at all. But we have never witnessed a human being who have snakes as hair before. You see, the only thing they don't want to accept is that they tried to subdue her and they couldn't, because she was very powerful. And this woman was carrying a dreadlocks. So the dreadlocks was what they have framed it to be snakes. And the woman's name, according to them, is Medusa. Is there any tribe that has this name? Because she was a human being who lived before. And even if she doesn't have a child, let's assume that she never bear a child, there are families she came from that can also name their children after this woman. So, was there any person by that name Medusa? Of course, there was a name but has been corrupted. And this is what I am going to bring out for people who have heard that story, to know that the woman was not a witchcraft. She was just a very powerful lady. The name originally was Edusa. The name originally was Edusa. But you see, in the Akan way, we call mothers Maame, or in another short form, Ma. So they call him Maame Edusa. Edusa, then we also call him in a short form of Maame, Maa Edusa. Maame means mother. Edusa means the 13th born child. You see, Edusa means the 13th born child, a 13th child of parents. That is what we call Edusa. And because she was a lady, we call her Maame. And Maame in short form, we use Maa Edusa. Maa Edusa. Then they corrupted it to Medusa. You see? So if you are looking for this very story and looking for the person they are talking about, you will not find it, because the way they have corrupted the name Medusa. How can you get the name? But the correct name is Maame Edusa. And Edusa means the 13th child. You see? And there are other names that has been corrupted. Let's go to how Akans named their children in those days. The first child is called Kain or Okain. Kain or Okain means the Odi Kain, the one who came first. Then the second child is called Menu or Menu. That is the female name for the second child, female. And Menu is the second born male. Then the third child is Mansa, if it's a male, and Mansa, if it's a female. Then the fourth child is Anan. Both female and female use the same name, Anan, because I had an auntie whose name was Anan. Then the fifth child is Enum. Anum. You see? Then the sixth child is also Nsia. Nsia means 6. Then the seventh child is also called Esong. Esong. You see, that means the seventh child is also called Esong. Then we have the 8th child. The 8th child is called Botre or Awotri. Botre or Awotri. Then the 9th child is called Akron or Nkrumah. Others call Akron. Others call him Nkrumah. Then the 10th child is also called Bedu. And this Bedu is the same. They corrupted it to Buddha. They interchanged the U and A to make it sound Buddha. Then the 11th child is called Dukun. Dukun. That has been corrupted to Luke. The D has been changed. Then the U has also been changed. Then the 12th child is called Eduno. Eduno. You see? Then the 13th child is called Edusa. Edusa. So that woman was originally called Edusa. She was originally called Edusa, which means the 13th born. You see? And because she's a mother, they say Maame Edusa. Or in short form, Maa Edusa. Then they corrupted it to Medusa. You see? Okay, now we go forward into another names that has been corrupted in the gospel. The first one is...
Before you go on, I have a question, please.
Yes, ask the question. Hold on.
Question is, if your parents had a miscarriage, would they still follow the same pattern in the old days? Like if their first two children...
Hello?
They still follow the same pattern, or would they come back and start with the Akan and then go on to men?
Miscarried children cannot be counted.
Okay.
Yes, miscarried children cannot be counted because they never existed to be humans. So if I had miscarriage, that means I never gave birth to a child. It is a blood clot that flowed away. And so that blood clot has no name. Yes. Okay, let's go on.
Okay. Before you go on to the names, there's a different question that is not related to the names. Do you want me to ask or wait till
you can ask
with the names?
Okay. If you like, let's wait till I finish with the names.
Okay.
Okay, then we go on with the corrupted names of the gospel. They call somebody Matthew, but the original name was Mantiyao. Matthew, Mantiyao. They call another one Mark or Marco. Italians call him Marco. Then the other white people call him Mark. You see, the original name was Nimako. Nimako. So when you remove the Ni, then you get the Marco, which was also corrupted to Mark in the English world. Then the third one is Lukon, which was also corrupted to Luke. Many a times they used to change other alphabets to get what they want, to let the names get vanished. Then the last one was Jain. Jain. In a Hebrew language, we don't have letter J. This is how we spell our J, that is G-Y. And they corrupted it to John. But as at now, as I'm talking to you, many people know that name John was John. But they spelled it with letter J. John. See, so if the name cannot be found, cannot be traced, then you cannot be found anywhere among the people on this planet. You see, so it is very, very important that we know all these names so that we can still know the truth about what we are talking about. Then it means from Egypt there was no kingdom, of which they say somebody who they call Akhenaten, whose name originally is Akhenten. There was no ruler whose name was Tutankhamun, whose original name is Tutu Ankuma. You see, then there was no people like that. But the people lived. The fact that you have corrupted their names does not mean that they don't live. The corrupt name that you have given them is not giving you the right to trace their roots, to go and find out which tribe they belong, to make sure that, yes, truly, there was a name like that. But now you have corrupted the name. And therefore, when you can't search for it, then you say they never existed. They all existed. And we are the descendants of those people that you say they never existed. Like this man, one of the corrupt name is this man that they call a king that they call Mansa. They say Mansa Musa. I asked somebody, what is the meaning of Mansa? They say it's a title. I say no. It is not like that. The man was not called Mansa. The man was originally called Mensa Can Come. Mansa can come. You people can go and research and check. He was originally called Mansa can come. How did he become Musa? Yes, he was a great merchant in those days who trades from North Africa to the Arabian Peninsula. And therefore, he was making his money and riches over that area. Then there came an Arab strike for people to convert to Islam. They brought this thing to North Africa. Mansa could have rejected it, but he considered the business he does with the Arabians, that if he did not accept it, then his business is going to collapse. And that is what prompted Mansa can come to convert into Islam, and therefore took the name Musa. You see, he took the name Musa attached to his name. Then they corrupted the Mansa to become Mansa. But the original name is Mansa can come. You see, so that is how this man became Mansa Musa. But nobody has ever named his child Mansa in that area. Nobody has ever named, because we the black people, we give ancestral names. If your grandfather bears Mansa, then you are going to be called maybe Mansa sometime to come, or your name will be attached to that Mansa. If you are called Kisiedu, then automatically your children will name their children after you. That is how it goes on. So we keep on with ancestral names, naming it for the name to continue stay in the family or the tribe. So if this man is truly called Mansa, who else have named his child after this great man? Does that mean that the man never had children to name them after him? No. The truth is that the man was not called Mansa. The man was not called Mansa. He was originally called Mansa can come, and adopted the name Musa because of his convert to Islam. These are some of the stories that we have that many people does not even know. Look at how this man, they have portrayed him being carried in a palanquin. If he is an Arabian king or any other king, no people will carry him on their shoulders. He will sit on a horse or sit on a camel. The differences between the Akan kings and other kings is what I am telling you. You see, look at them, carrying them on their shoulders the way Akans carry their kings. So I tell you the truth, I am not deviating. All these stories or all these messages, overnight I couldn't sleep. It was coming and coming and coming, and I say, let the people know the truth and the correction be done, so that when we are talking, we know where the story is coming from. When we are saying things, then we know what we are talking about. You see, people will say, Osmafo, you always want to say things that justify accounts as this and that. That is the truth. I cannot say because of that I am telling people lies. But every truth that I talk, in the course of time, you come out to find it. Because I cannot lie simply because I am an Akan. And somebody will say, you are just portraying Akan as superior. I am not saying that. But the fact still remains that even if you talk about the Sumerians, people have been hearing the word Sumerian. What language does this word Sumerian come from? And what is the meaning of Sumerian? Again, what language does this shamanism? I know many of you have heard about shamanism. What language does this word shamanism come from? You see, you have been using it, but you have not taken your time to search for it and know that this word comes from this side. And therefore, when they talk like this, when they say these things, they are talking from this point of view. You have not taken your time. You are only repeating the same corrupt words. You see, shamanism simply means a woman or a medium that calls the spirit of the ghost. And it is Samain for Samain. The word is Samain for. You see, the Samain is what they have corrupted it to be shamanism. And the Samain is what they have corrupted it to Sumerian. Otherwise, somebody should come out and tell me where we can find the language that says Sumerian and what is the meaning of it. Somebody should come out. Don't go to Gogo because Gogo does not speak that language. Gogo does not know the language. You yourself tell me, if I go to Kenya, I can find people who call this shamanism. And shamanism means that or that. I can find people who call some people Sumerians. And Sumerian word is their language. It means this or that. That is what I'm looking for. You see, anybody who wants to challenge can bring the name from a tribe. Let's know that this is the truth. But I'm telling you the truth. When our people started having birth with the white people, of which our people of which that marriage is forbidden to our people, they started giving birth to these mulattoes. They started giving birth to mulattoes, and the mulattoes were rejected because we call them Nsamanfuoma, the children of the ghost. You have no part in our community, so we just sack them, and that is how they call them Sumerians. That is why the white man corrupted the Samanfo to Sumerians. You see, so Sumerians originally were half castes. Originally, they were half castes. Just like what happened in Haiti some years back, when some of the Haitians contaminate themselves with the white and gave birth to half castes. That is what brought about Republic of Dominican Republic. You see, so they were also parted away. The same thing happened in the ancient time with the nation of Israel. These people who have contaminated themselves were separated from the original Hebrews, and they called them Nsamanfuoma, and the white man made them Samai called Samaritans. Everything they will give it a special name. Jebu people, they will call them Jebusites. You see, they add something to confuse people. The Ammon people, the children of Ammon, they will call them Ammonites. Everything night, site, just to confuse people. So it's about time we bring out the truth so that people will know exactly where the story belongs. It is when you know where the story belongs that you will begin to search and understand properly. When you don't know, you are just beating about the bush. Yes, and you continue to teach people with wrong names, wrong pronunciation of words, and we will be in the square one again. But this time, I want you people to learn to know and understand so that when you go and teach people and they ask you, you can seriously give them a vivid account or a vivid proof of whatever you are saying. All the names that I have given you are the correct names. And just check the picture on the screen. You will see that man dressed wearing a cap just like Otunfo Osetutu. You see? And now he has been carried like Osetutu. He has been carried like all the Akan thieves. But when you go to the Dagombes, you see that they are not being carried like this. They sit on horses. When you go to other tribes, they sit on horses. That is their tradition. That is what their ancestors left to them. But this is what our ancestors left to us. As he is being carried on a palanquin. You see? But for them to tie their head like the way they have tied it is simply because they have been forced to become Muslims. You see? So it's about time we get to know. Look at the bundles he has in his hands. That is how we dress our own chiefs. So this man was never Mansa. He was Mensa, the third born. Mensa can come. That is original name. Mensa can come. He only took Musa because he adjusted himself to Islam. That is the fact. You see, I am telling you people the truth. But now everybody says, oh, Mansa Musa, Mansa Musa, Mansa Musa. It's about time we call his right name. He was called Mensa can come. You see? Okay, now, if anybody has a question to ask, he can ask.
Oh, Nana.
Yes,
this is perfect. I have a question.
You can ask only one question.
Just let's begin with this one.
No, you see, I want you to pile the questions.
Yeah,
so
more will come. More will come.
When, today or next time?
Today will come.
Then let it flow. Let the questions flow.
Okay, thank you. So real quick, thank you very much for this clarification. I always know there was something about that name that sounds more Akan. So now the Mensa makes sense. And then they always call him Mansa Musa Kankan, but then it's Kankam.
It's Kankam.
So now I have the correct.
It's Kankam.
The name they call him.
Yeah, it's
Kankam.
It's Mensa Kankam.
Mensa Kankam.
Yes.
So now my question is this: this man, we don't see any of his burial because he's a very prominent person, the most richest man ever lived on this planet. But we don't know where he was buried, and we actually don't know where he was. So this is my first question. My second question is, I know the Muslims, the Islam, they were pursuing the Akans with their religion. And I have heard somewhere that is the reason why our chiefs or kings don't wear the beard, because they wanted to separate themselves from the Islams.
Yeah.
Is this also the case?
Of course, yes.
Thank you.
Of course, yes. And you see, this man could have also left the place, but he was a merchant making money from Arabia. So if he decides to not accept the Islamic religion, then it means he cannot go there, because they were very cruel people, killing people to change into Islam by force. So he considered it that for his business sake, after all, he has decided that, okay, now I will adopt the Islamic faith so that my business can progress. And that is how he called himself Musa. Thank you for your question. Hello.
Hello, Nana. Do you know where he was buried? Was he? We didn't hear how he died, where he died, how he buried.
In actual fact,
do you have any information on that?
Yeah, in actual fact, Mensa Kankam was not a spiritual leader. He was a merchant. And you know, in most cases, our people keep the how do you call it? They keep prominence on those who are associated with their God directly. But when you are rich, just like this man, how is the name? This Kwawu man. No, there was a Kwawu man who was very rich in Ghana, who has, according to
Enimado.
Yes, Enimado. You see, Enimado name is gone. You see, but he was very rich. Because Enimado was not a king, he was not a president, but a merchant. Nobody cares about where he was buried or keeps on with his name. So, in the ancient and even today, when you are associated with godly matters, that is why people remember you. But when your association with people is only business affair, when you die and gone. Everybody knows that Enimado was rich. But how many people from the age of, let's say, 45 downwards, how many people know the name Enimado? Nobody. And said, the soul shall it also be gone in about, say, 20, 30 years to come. You see? So this man was only a great merchant and he has money. But the money doesn't justify him to make a monument, how do you call it? Is it monument? To make a monument for him. You see? And as a Muslim,
that is correct. And
as a Muslim, when he died, that same day, they will bury him. They don't care whether you are rich or what. And they don't make also, those days, they don't make symbols on their burying ground, just like we do today. And Muslims don't bury one person in one hole. They can bury so many people in the same hole. They place this one left, they place this one right. You see? So that is why he can never be traced again. Hello?
Yeah, thank you. Joseph, you had a question going.
Yeah, actually, it was Osama. I'm so glad you made a lot of corrections concerning the name and a lot of our misinterpreted within the Bible the name. But also, I think I heard you said most people try to do the research on the fabrication name and they couldn't come up to nothing, and they said the name is not existing. So I probably agree with them because it was the wrong interpretation of the name. So that's why they couldn't find a research on it.
Yeah, thank you very much. I am still waiting because this man told me there are many questions. And I am still waiting for them.
This is, I'm sorry. The question is this. What happened to all this man's riches? Because it's too much that, in fact, they said that when he went to Egypt for the pilgrimage to Mecca, he disrupted the whole economy of Egypt because he dashed so much gold to the people, well, then nobody was interested to work anymore. So he destroyed the entire economy of Egypt in the olden days when he went to the first pilgrimage. What happened to all his wealth?
Well. How many years now? And how many wealth was it? You see? It's just like somebody does not understand the English language and cannot speak it. If somebody speaks broken language, he will say, this person speaks good English. Until you, who knows English, before you know that, after all, what he's speaking is broken, rubbish. In those days, when we talk of riches, just look at, let me do some analogy. Let's look at in 1966, coup that happened in Ghana. Do you know how much the Americans bribed Kotoka and Afrifa? How much? It's only $10,000. But in those days, $10,000 was a huge money. You see? So when they talk about, the people collected dollars. How much? 10,000. Today, it's peanut. So that is how it is. When the man died, there are people who are around him who shared everything according to themselves. And the family members shared money according. So now when you come to see somebody being so rich in that region, it could be that person comes from his lineage. So the money he made, when you die, it will be shared among others. Because it will not be there piling up for people to come and watch. Just like you said, when he went to Egypt, he shared money to there. Yes, the money has been shared among other people. So you can't find the weight. Because it's almost about how many years? About 400 years ago. If he has, let's say, $1 million, by then, they will call him the richest man on the planet. But now, $1 million is for somebody to buy a car. Just like recently, they went and bribed Burkina Faso soldiers with $8 million. You see, people see it as big money, but very soon it will be nothing. Just like Kotoka and Afrifa were bribed with only $10,000. But then it was a big money. But now $10,000 is money that despite give to his wife to go and make shopping. You understand? So the monies that he has can never valued as today to talk about. You see? So that is how we can't find the money. Hello?
Okay. Osmafo, thank you. You have said something about they gave you the names. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about researchers, the ancestors, or the gods?
The researcher cannot give me these names. I told you that over the night I was sleepless because so is the name coming. All the names were coming. This is that. This is that. This is that. Tell your people so that they will know the truth. They will know who lived and who does not live. Because when I watched that man's video, I know many of you may know the man I'm talking about. He's some white man. He's not too much fat. He teaches on the internet. So when I watched that video, in the night they came and told me, "Oh, don't leave this, don't mind this man." This man said Moses never lived. Moses lived. His descendants are those we call Mosi children in Burkina Faso. Tell them this is this, this is that, this is that, this is. So I got all the names from the gods, and they explained to me, especially this woman, because I was also saying the head of Medusa because I watched the film. Then he said, "No, it is not Medusa. The word is Maa Edusa. And Edusa is the 13th born." So I say, okay, yeah. So I started recording everything down. Then I say, when I wake up today, I will pass it on to you people to know the correct words and the correct names and what they have corrupted. You see, when I was in Italy, I know that Mark's name was called Marco. I know many of you who have visited Italy will bear with me. Marco. And the white man make it Mark. Then they told me the word is Nimako. So they have only exempted the N and I. So they exempted it and then make it Marco. And then corrupted it into English Mark. You see? So they are the ones that have been. I know many of you will search and know that John is also called Jan. And they have used the J as Jan. They make J-E-A-N. That is what they have spelled, Jan. But the word is Jan because Hebrew, we don't have letter J. Just like we don't have letter Q. But many people have started using the Q. And it's not good for us. We have to maintain how we write our names. I could see some people, Kweku, they will write it Q and some other things. We don't have Q in our Hebrew alphabet. We don't have J in our Hebrew alphabet. So the name was, as I've written it on the board. This is how they gave it to me.
Okay, so so was it a dream or did it come to you like a conversation? Was it a dream that you were asking questions in it?
No,
how did you receive?
Listen to me. There is difference between a dream and a vision. Yes, a vision passes through my mind and continuously teaching me. I was not asleep. I was there. I couldn't even sleep. I wanted to sleep and I'm still there listening to it. And the vision was passing through my mind, showing me all these things. So in many cases, I used to learn through dreams and visions. You see, vision is what passes through your mind. On something that you have no idea, something that you have not planned, all of a sudden, the concept will arrive in your brains and you begin to record it one after the other. Then we have the one that when you sleep, he comes and teaches you this is that, this is that, this is that. So there are two ways to learn, in a vision or in a dream. This one, it was in a vision.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else with a question relating to this?
I have a question.
Yes,
I have a question related to this. On this, yes, I know you were probably tapping into your higher energy, so they were just flowing.
Of course. Of course.
Now, my question is this: Medusa, what is the relation between Medusa and Alexander the Great?
Well, what I have been taught is what I teach. I have always said this. I don't want to deceive anybody. I don't want to lie. if they tell me a relationship between Alexander the Great and Medusa, I will come back to tell you people. Is that okay? Yeah.
Now, Medusa, did Medusa have any child?
Well.
Prominent in her history.
Well, if you know, you can also bring it out, because they said Medusa and they want me to correct the word Maa Edusa. So if you know anything concerning Maa Edusa than what I've been taught, you can also share with us.
Okay, so Nana, just confirm, find out more when you are tapping, find out more, because I think this woman is very important. She's very, very important in our history. What I learned is, or what I have found out is that she conceived with a god, and that god turned out to be probably one of the Ananetia Bradic group, and had a son, and the son was Alexander the Great. So that made Alexander the Great like a demigod, half god, half man, and that this was her mother. They kept her very secret out from the history. But I know Medusa lived at the same time with the Phoenician Greek history, origin of the Phoenician Greek history. So just find out, because she is very important. She has a lot of world history around her. She's very important.
Okay, then maybe if I should understand and believe your word, so that child will be half caste, because who is that?
That is correct.
Oh, okay.
They said that the god was a nail.
You see,
sometimes they also refer to as some people have referred to as Yahweh, but that Yahweh word is being corrupted, because there are too many of the Yahwehians. They are about 24, half of them negative, half of them positive. So I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
But they use that word, but I know he is the one of the Ananetia Bradic.
Let me.
Edusa.
Yes, let me chip in here. You see, there was a Greek conqueror who was called Antiochus, and he called himself God. You know that? Hello?
No, I've heard about Antiochus, but I don't know
he called himself a god. He said Antiochus Epiphanes. That is, Epiphanes means God manifest. So the Greeks has been calling themselves gods. And therefore, if a Greek man or a Greek great hero got married to a lady, he will say a god. Because the Greeks were learning from the Egyptians, and they were believing that the Egyptian pharaohs were gods. So they learned all these things from our ancestors, and they were calling themselves gods. You see? So sometimes when you hear and God said, and God changed his name, it is not God who changed the name. It is a man, especially the Greeks. They were the ones who were calling themselves gods. So anytime, because most of the Bible writings, the Greeks took the message from the Hebrews and then corrupted it to be their own book, and therefore they put in a lot of, and the Bible was copied from the Greek version of the history of the Hebrews. The Greek version of the history of the Hebrews. That is what they copied most of the Bible messages from. So if a Greek god say, oh, God changed Abraham's name, or Bram's name into Abraham, it is them who made the change and said it is God. It was never any God. And this thing has been going on several times in the scriptures. When man does something, then they say God did it. When man does something, they say God did it. In the time of the Greeks, the Anunnaki they are talking about was not around. They weren't around. This Anana that they are claiming to be Anunnakis was in the far ancient Mesopotamian time, When our ancestors were in Babylon, you see, it was far ancient Mesopotamian time, not the Greek time. You see, so they want to make people to believe that they are the origin of everything, the Greeks. But even as the whites themselves have come out to know that the Greeks are not any superior beings than other whites. The Greeks only learn from the superior black people. That is why many gods' names many men has been called their god. It is like Horus. Horus is simply a holu, a man, but in those days was very powerful. And the Greeks took him to be a god, and they say Horus. It's a holu, an ewe man. You see, so many of the things that they are talking about is from our own people. And because the Greeks cannot speak our dialect very clear, they have been corrupting many things. They have been corrupting many things. You see, that is why it has been difficult for us to go through to the original source of the story. So they can say anything and call him Alexander the Great. If a white man, a white slave master, crossbreed with a slave, he will call himself God slept with so and so person. It is never any God. Please. I have told you people that spirits don't have gender. Spirit decides to turn themselves into anything they want to be. So are you saying, like the Anunnaki issue, they say the Anunnaki created men to become gold miners for them. Okay, now, Queen Elizabeth and his ancestors has hidden a lot of golds in Buckingham Palace, Buckingham Museum. Are the Anunnaki seeing it, or they don't want gold anymore? More fabricated stories. If the Anunnakis, as they are calling them, are the superior beings that have a lot of superiority and spiritualities, they have the means to do a gold business by themselves if they want to do the gold business. Now Ghana, there is Garamsey. More gold is coming. Where are they? They created us to dig gold for them, as people are claiming. Now we are still digging the gold. We can't find them to come and carry the gold. Why? Don't they like the gold again? Look at what Buckingham has hidden. A lot of gold bars. Go, Anunnaki must come and carry it because they created us to do that job for us. We have done it. And why are they not coming for it? You see, people are just giving some stories. Those who are powerful than we are, of which, according to the white man, they are the ones that build the pyramids in Egypt, not black people. Spirits came and carry big, large stones because they cannot fathom how those large stones were put on the top of that place. And they never knew that the black people were the source of technology. Black people were the source of technology that they are claiming they have brought it. Everything they are doing has already been done. If they like, they should bring all the clay tablets they have stolen. Let us all sit down and see what our ancestors wrote down, that they are copying and bringing it out and say they are the ones who are doing it. You see? So as for the white people, if you follow their ways, you will get lost. They will claim and claim. Even Roman Empire, when they are showing us Roman film, you will see white people with leather jackets and everything sitting on. But the Roman empires originally were blacks. They are only actors. You see, they act and claim superiority for themselves. So don't trust them. Now, even if they are talking about the concept of God and showing it on television, Before you know, Moses is a white man with a long white beard. Before you know, Abraham is a white man. And now the lies they are portraying is that Noah had children, Japheth, Ham, and whoever. And they say Ham is the ancestors of the Africans who were living on the planet before white man was born. But when you listen to this story and you believe it, so are they trying to tell us that it is the white man who gave birth to black man? Never. It can never happen. It has never happened. And it will never happen. We lived, we created them. So if anybody to tell you that, oh, Noah's children, 3 children, one of them was is the one who, no. The globe was occupied by black race only until we gave birth to the albinos and their counterparts. So don't trust them. Hello?
Smartphone. Anybody else with a related question, please ask it. If you have a question, this topic of names. If not, I have other questions to read out.
I have a lot, but I promise him, so I'm just going to ask this one and I stop all the others. Nana, it appears there is something on this planet, and it's trying to manipulate the entire humanity so that we never come together. Now, there was a Senusi in the South Africa, the Zulus community. He passed away about 2 years ago. I think his name is Credo Mutua.
That short black old man?
Yes. I think he passed away. But he made mention of something that was very, very important, that there was another being that are living within the planet, inside the planet, that they look more like reptilians, but they can walk, and somehow they are sexually compatible with our women. And these beings, very powerful, they can shift, and they can manipulate a lot of realities, and they are causing a lot of disunity and disharmony because they feed on our negative emotions, fear, anger, and all this kind of stuff. And the death and the horror and the cries, that is what they feed on. And he pinpointed a lot of things that was going on that was actually bringing a lot of disharmony on the planet. And I don't know if you are aware of this, because it's making this thing go on. This is that is that. The polarity is strengthening too much, instead of at a time where we have to unite, as in the harmony. It's actually causing a lot of polarity, even among our own selves, like even our own black people. We don't even like ourselves that much. We cause more harm to each other than any other race causing it to us. So it's something that we all need to pay attention to, whether it's a psychic warfare that we've been locked into that is causing disunity and disharmony, that we can't come together. Because the moments we come together, they say unity is strength. Of
course, yes.
I think that energy doesn't want humanity to come together, because we will eradicate that kind of energy from this planet.
Of course.
So this is something that I want to bring to your attention.
Yes, of course. I've listened to that man. I've listened to the words of that man before. And then what is there is that is why we have the devils, or the one we call Satan, and then the one we call gods. You see, like I have always said, the gods want unity. That is why they teach us to become love your neighbor as yourself. But there is deception spirit that also goes on to distract the message. So I am not surprised you know this, because you are into research and you listen very carefully to other people too. So I am not surprised. But come what may, the unity that we are looking for will come back, will come one day. according to what I've been told, it will come one day and the whole world will be a peaceful place and a very humble and loving place. It is about to happen. We have gone through that kind of tribulation. We have gone through that kind of hardship. We have gone through that kind of disorganized. But I promise that a time will come that there will be unity on this planet. There will be unity on this planet. The problem we are having now is that black race, even though we have been taught how to hate ourselves, right from the beginning it wasn't like that. And even some of the white people have confirmed that they came to the length and breadth of Africa. They never see a thief. They never see a murderer. They only see people who are seriously connected to their God. So how can they penetrate unless they disorganize us? So that deceiving spirit is using those people to disorganize us. And now that we are waking up, I promise it is not going to be easy task, and it's not going to be immediate, but the time will come that people will begin to run away from the devil and there will be peace. Thank you very much.
I look forward to that day. I can't wait.
Oh yes, because when the God speaks, they have spoken. I tell you the truth, because prophecies that they have given in the Bedouin Cancer Nebuchadnezzar time, nobody thought it will happen, has happened. And therefore, everything that they say will come to pass. Whoever is deceiving who, yes, they say the devil is a deceiver. And the devil is nowhere but on this planet. But the ghosts who are in the other planets are looking and watching everything. And a time will come that all who are planning to cause havoc on this planet will be destroyed very soon. I hope so.
Asmafo, thank you. Anybody with a question relating to the names, please ask it. If not, I have a question to ask. Okay, Asmafo, this question is from Kwesi. He's asking, can I pour libation in my bathroom or it has to be outside?
The fact that I say you can do this exercise in bathroom doesn't mean go and pour libation in the bathroom. People must be very, very fast to understand. You see, you have to pour libation outside, but not in the bathroom. The reason why I say you should, you see, sometimes I used to tell people that you can do an exercise on the refuse dump. It has its own course.
Yes, so we can hear you. So, in simple terms, no, right? We should not pour libation in the bathroom. That's what we do. Okay. I think he's asking this because if you live in the city, you don't really have anywhere to pour libation. Like, let's say if I live on the 15th floor in an apartment. No, where I live, there's no porch. It's just, what do we do? If it is a studio, let's say a living room, one bathroom, one bedroom. How do I do it? Do I get a container?
But you don't do libation where you continuously have sex. It's not good.
So if I'm doing it in my living room, do I have a basin, like a container that I'll pour the libation inside? Or
I have said
like,
it.
how do I do it?
I have said it once before that I don't know. You can get a how do you call it? No. I'm coming. A clay pot. A clay pot.
Yeah.
A clay pot, like the one we call apotoyua. You can get the red, not the black type, the red type. Then, as I have already shown you, there are some things that you can put. Actually, you can put ordinary sand in it and pour your libation. But if you want it to be effective, there are things you have to put on the base of that ayua before you put the sand. One is susumasa leaf. And second is cowries 3. And third is 1 local egg. You see, you can put this thing, and as well, you can put salt and honey too inside. Then when you are commissioning it, you pour your libation and say, as the honey and the salt are sweet, so I want anytime I pour libation, my life should become sweet. You see, then you pour that libation and cover the whole place with the whole ayua with the sun. So that will be your altar. Anytime you wake up at dawn, especially your day of birth, you just go and pour your libation. Since you are living alone, you must go naked every time if you want your libation pouring to be more effective.
Okay, thank you, friend. So you get the salt, the honey, the egg, the susana, all of this. Then you pour the libation before you put the sand in it.
Yes, before you cover it with the sand.
Okay.
And anytime you want to pour libation, don't forget to first of all welcome the spirits with water. And because it is your room, don't go and fetch 1 full cup of water or 1 full cup of drink. Just a little, because it's in your room, so that the place won't get wet. You see, maybe a tot or 2 tots. If I talk about tot, I think you know what is tot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's outside, if it is outside, you can take as many as the calabash can contain and then begin to pour. But if it is in your room, for your room not to become wet, you know, when a room becomes wet most of the time, there is some fungus that comes, and then that fungus also can give you sickness. So you have to limit the quantity of water or the drink that you are using. Hello.
Okay, Aswako.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening, Adwa.
So with the after pouring the libation, you cover it with the sand.
Yes.
The next time you are coming to pour the libation, do we empty the earthenware and then
No.
the ingredients? Or
No. That one, what you have done, it means you have commissioned the altar. So you don't do it again. Just leave it like that, and continue doing your exercise on it.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you too. I think there is no more question, eh?
Oh, my last question, Nana.
Oh, okay.
It has to do with our group, the Akan group, and the blood group, O negative. There are some of my relatives here that they worry them too much of collecting blood from them. I keep warning them because this is why I don't know what they are trying to take away from them. But I know it's a universal donor, but there is something unique with that particular blood group. Are you aware of this?
That is blood group O.
The O negative.
O negative. Oh yes.
Negative.
Oh yes, of course. You see, these are things of the physicians, and I know little about the O negative. That the O negative can serve all the blood groups, but when it comes to the O negative needing blood, unless he gets his own partner before he can. That is what the little that I know about it.
Can I chip in here?
Okay.
Oswafo.
Yes.
This question, I Fred Ibuse. The understanding I have come to accumulate from the opinion and say, yes, a crown at Mojanum.
Oh, okay.
Into life is in the blood. So understanding now the uniqueness of every okra or timojem bia, and no more identifying to be the O's and the A's and the B minuses. No.
Yes.
In the eyes, they interpreted it differently. But your okra no the ochres ope she a boost that as okra so pay and it's do eat this, eat that. That phenomenon is directly related to the negative, positive A plus. That's how I understand it.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, fan of our crowd angle. Yeah, okra and away. It's different for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Osmafo, thank you.
Thank you too.
Abba Osmafo kwasi Benjamin odi nsempa bi brew ti yaso netie ne beboa wo yetie no de nsempa nenam Osmafo kwasi Benjamin mo ma yetie no mi se yetie no de nsempa nenam yetie no ne semye breba mo ma yetie no de no kre na bai Osmafo kwasi Benjamin mo ma yetie no mi se yetie no de nsempa nenam yetie no ne semye breba Ofrinyamenti ya freno Benjamin Yasumanu nti ya freno Osmafo Ofrinyamenti ya freno Benjamin Yasumanu nti ya freno Osmafo Nana Benjamin Osmafo Benjamin Osikana mayira nti obetreni ekwanuda Yaira kwanti ya kwa yenuda Yaira kwanti ya suya yemuda Nakagana maimu ya diakrani oya Bibia bia okedia pwa mai Ye wasasi papa bia Gold papa wo Diamond papa wo Timba papa wo Outside papa wo Coco papa wo Oil papa wo Emuni papa baby Ansuda bia gana maya kwa misiabo Nukra ya viunto nyantu mayempa muda Nana Benjamin se obetreni ya ekwanuda Titi ati ponwa ya nananum faswono Sanko faye chiti muma yenko yenchia Nana kwasi Benjamin na ya mtieno mesi Yetieno no dinsepane namo Yetieno nisemye mprepa Muma yetieno no de no kre na bae Osmafo kwasi Benjamin muma yetieno mesi Yetieno no dinsepane namo Yetieno nisemye mprepa Benjamin ti ya freno Benjamin Yasumanu nti ya freno Osmafo Benjamin ti ya freno Benjamin Yasumanu nti ni dini Osmafo Nana Benjamin Osmafo Benjamin Osikana mayira ti obetreni akwanuda Yeni utino ye treni ayenim Ti yesuani ayenim ye kani ayenim ye tieni ayenim ye sumni ayenim ye kutuni ayenim ye sorini ayenim Ti Osmafo abase obetreni ekwanuda Titi ati ponu ayena nanum faswonwa Odinya misro emrani ni kredie Atu huache ejo maisi hono Ti yetie no de no kre na bai Osmafo kwasi Benjamin mama yetie no misi Yetie no de nsepane namo Yetie no ni semye mprepa Yetie no de no kre na bai Osmafo kwasi Benjamin mama yetie no misi Yetie no de nsepane namo Yetie no ni semye mprepa Sanko faye nchi ye sankwa ye nchi o Nana kwasi Benjamin mama yetie no misi Yetie no de nsepane namo Yetie no ni semye mprepa Isi sanko faye nchi yenko ye nchi yao Sanko faye nchi muma yenka ye oh, and your mom what is for wow. I sit here, it's a for the boy.